Hi friend, and welcome back to the craft table at Sunny Miles Studio. Today we're painting this sweet spring card, and I'm just showing you my sketchbook here because I've been trying it out different ways. Up here I painted kind of these blobs of color and then went in with a crayon on top and drew the flowers. And then down here I drew the flowers first and then kind of went around them with green. I like both ways, but I think I'm going to do this just because it's more colorful. These are inspired from some bushes we used to have in our yard, some big rhododendron bushes, and they had like these bright fuchsia flowers on them that were so beautiful in the springtime. So I'll get my paper so we can start. And also you can do this, with or without the eggs, with or without the bunny. I'm not so great at doing animals, but I just recently watched a video from Shada Campbell, so thank you, Shada, for showing me how to draw a bunny a proper way. So what I'm going to do is just start with some blobs of those rhododendron bushes. I'm using a pink, and I just kind of make just a blob, really. And I'm making 3 of them. I'll make another pink one here. And then I'll do a purple one. Just kind of bush shapes. And then next you want to add, if you're going to add in your eggs and your bunny, I want to do that next before adding the green. And I'm going to draw the bunny kind of hiding behind this bush. And you first just start with kind of an oval, kind of a tear-shaped head. And then you give them some little ears. Maybe I'll zoom in so you can see a little bit better. And then I'm going to draw one ear kind of flapping up like that. And then I drew kind of like a Y for the nose and the mouth and 2 little eyes at the top of that. And then I kind of just draw this like slumpy shape and gave them like a little leg here. I don't know, it almost looks like a dog. You could draw a dog too. Something like that. It gives you the gist. And then I drew some little hidden eggs. Let's see, next I'll go in and paint those eggs and the bunny before adding the green. The bunny I'm just going to do in kind of a light skin color, kind of a beige. And the eggs, I think I'll do an orange one. And you can erase those pencil marks if you don't like that. I kind of like the sketchy look in my work, so a lot of times I leave the pencil there. But if you go over the pencil with the paint, you won't be able to erase it, so erase it first. Or sometimes you can use like a kneadable eraser and just use that to like roll over it to make it lighter if you still want it a little guide but not as much. And what other color? I'll do a bright green. Alright, next up is the grass around it. And I'm going to use this, back out a little here. I'm going to use this bright light sap green, I think it is. And I'm just going to go around all of this area And I'm gonna load my brush, then dab it off on my paper towel and use a little bit of that dry brushing. Oops. Around the edges. And then go in with more paint near the bushes. And just be careful if you don't want it to bleed into another, to not touch any of the bush paint if it's still wet. Just using that dry brush technique where you get paint on your brush, dab it off, and then lay your brush kind of on the side. It kind of helps fade out the edges of a painting. I'm going to do that again, dab my brush, and try to do that here on the edge. Can you see that? I'll zoom in a little. Just coming around the bottom here. And you could add a sentiment, or you could leave this blank. It's just kind of a playful spring card. I'm going to dry brush down here a little bit. There. So there's space here at the bottom if you want to write some sentiment or stamp something. So next you need to just let this dry. And I have one that's dried already. And then you'll go back in on top with crayons of the same color. And I just was using, what is it, violet red crayon, but whatever, some kind of pink. And I was just making these like 4-petaled flowers here and there on top. Just kind of a playful representation, not nothing exact here. I'll go in with the purple on the purple bush. And then with the green, you could just make some little, like, stalks of grass around if you like. There. I had fun painting this little one with you today. I hope you enjoyed it too. I'll look forward to painting again with you soon. Have a great day.